All right, Shalom. Yahweh Shai Brakatah, Yahweh Shemata Bashim Yahshai. This is the Florida Sabbath service. And with that, I'm going to say of my Jew, YAHANNA Hakodom, which means to stand and face the east. We're going to start out with the Lord's Prayer. All right, we'll start out with the Hebrew first, and then the English. All right. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakuka, Daba'ah, Ratzaka, I.S.U.P.K, Baharataza, Kawa, Bashamayim, Lathanawa, Lakom, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawathyenawa, Wala'ah, Gabi Banasana 1, Hayashayanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, Laivalunya, Amen. Okay, in English is our Father, which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Next prayer is the power or hakap. In Hebrew, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bawakashah, Lathanawa, Hakap, Larpa'ah, Kalmalawa, Hakap, Latahar, Hamathirayim, Hakap, Lahakwim, Hamathim, Hakap, Arikaras, Hatama'ala, Lagarashim, Bashim Yahushai, the water. Amen. In the English, it's Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. All right, next prayer is going to be the blessings of Barak. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahweh. Wa Maka Ya'ala. Wa Allahayim. Matazabiyah Alawamp Yahanna. Ha Alawampian. Hasaranyam. Quatazayanyam. Ha Kawyayawyan. Wa Ha'akwatian. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh. The water. Amen. Okay, we said in English is bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yohanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the sisters, it's like the troopers and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. All right, next prayer is going to be Psalms 121. Ayasha'ah, Ayanyam, Al-Aharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah Ma'ayim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Waharataza, Al-Yanawam, Lamarat Regalga, Al-Yanawam, Shemarka, Hanala'a, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yahashun, Sharmar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yom Yunk, Yawamum, Hashamash, La Kakauka, Wayirak, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Ashnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazafka, Wawaafka, Maitha, Wad, Iwalam. In English, we said was I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh forth my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy coming in and thy coming out from this time forth and even forevermore. Next prayer is going to be Psalms 83. It's like in Hebrew. Alahayim, Alahayim, Al Damayalaka, Al Takarash, Wa Al Tashakwash, Al Kayahana, Hamyaka, Yahamyawam, Wamashanayaka, Nasha'a Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yamayamu, Sawad, Waya Awatazawa, Al Tazapawanika, Marwa, the Koba, Wanakamkia, Magalia, Wala'a, Yashakar, Shem Yasha'ala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa'atazawa, Labaka, Wa Al Yaka, Baryas, Yakadwa, Ahalia, Ya Arawam, Wa Yashamayalam, Maba Abba, Wa Haradan, Gabal, Wa Imawan, Wa Amalak, Halashath, I'm Yeshabi, Tazawar Gamashubo, Nalawa, Ayn, Hayiwa, Zarawai, Labani Lawat, Shalah, Aishalahum, Kamadim, Kasa Asara'a, Kayabim, Banakar, Kwaiwashawan, Nashamadwa, by Ayan Adara, Hayiwa, Dama, Lahadama, Shayathamua, the Namaya, Waka Arab, Waka Zaba, Waka Zabak, Waka Tazamanai, Kamasikambu, Ashar, Amar, Wa Na Yashara, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagawa, Kakwash, La Panyirika, Ka'ash, Saba'ira Yara, Waka La'ba, Felahut, Harim, Than, Faradatma, Ba Sa'irika, Ba Sapafka, Balahum, Malahan, Panyahum, Kwalawan, Waya Bashwa, Wa Shimka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya Yabawa, Waya Aidwa, Waya Apara, Waya Abadwa, Waya Aidwa, it's like Kaya Atha, Shimka Yahweh, the Badka, Al Yawan, Al Ka Haratiza. All right, in the English we say, keep not thy silence, O God, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelite, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, the birth of Kasar, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zehel, yea, all their prince as Zabal and as Zamun, who said, let us take to our house, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as a stove before the wind, and as a fire burneth the wood, and as a flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fear their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High, over all the earth. All right, they're going to say Yeshavi. We'll get right into it. It's lucky. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Y'all give me a second. Let's see here. Sluggy, yo. All right, so in the Hebrew first, we'll start with Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Wa'ala Shamuwath ban Yasha'ala Haba'ayam Matzazarayim Asa Yaqwa Ayash Abayaswa Ba'awa verse 2. Ra Sluggy. Ra born Shamayam Shemayawan Sluggy. Ra born Shemayawan Loya Yahawada Yashakar Zabalawan Wa Banyani Dan Wa Napata Napat Slaki Napataya God Gad Slaki Wa Ashar verse 5. Wahaya Kal Napash Nataza Aya Yarak Yaikwa Slaki Shabayim Napash Wa Yawasap Haya Ba Matazarayim Wayamath Yawasap Wakal Akawal Wakal Hawar Hawa'a Wabanya Yasha'ala Parawa Wa Yasha Slaki Slaki Wa Yashra Tazawa Wa Yara Bawa Wa Slaki Wa Ya Aitazamawa Ba Mawad Ba Slaki Ma Awa Wa Slaki Wa Thamala'a Had Rataza Hatham Slaki Wa Yak Slaki Wa Yaquam Malak Kadash Al Matazarayim Ashar La'ah Ya'ai, Asa, Yawasa, Ashar, Al, Aimuwa, Hana, Ain, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Rahab, Wa'ai Tazarum, Manuwa, Haba, Na, Nasa, Kama, Lawa, Ban, Yaraba, Wahaya, Kaya, Sakwa, Ra'ana, Mala, Kama, Wana, Wasa, Gam, Hawa'a, Ao, Shana, Yanawa, Wala, Wana, Lakam, Bana, Ila, Mana, Harataza, verse 11, Waya, Wa, Wayashim Mawa, Aliyawa, Sharia, Masayim, Ma Aina, Ainatawa, Ba, Sabalathum, Wa, Yaban, Iriya, Masa, Kanawas, La Parai, Asa, Pasum, Wa Asa, Ra, Aima, and in the Hebrew, Slaki. So Exodus chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already, and Joseph died, and his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now these arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. All right. Many of y'all may be familiar with this. For those who aren't,
Of course, Joseph, to say it in layman terms, had pulled in Egypt. And, in this point in time, Joseph passed away. So the new king of Egypt is seeing how Israel has grown. We in captivity in Egypt. He's seeing how we have grown and we mighty. You know what I'm saying? We mighty, we growing. And of course, it's a threat to, the oppressor in this case. It's a threat. You know what I'm saying? Many of the things you see in the scriptures with us in captivity, it applies today. It's just the oppressor does it a different way. All right. However, he's oppressed. He's seeing how Israel is growing. He's seeing how we're getting, we're stronger. Of course, we building families. We have, of course, you have anytime you got a nation, you got professionals, we amongst ourselves. He's afraid. All right. So we're going to keep reading verse 10. Come on and let us deal with them. Let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and they come to pass that when there felleth out any war, they join also into our enemies and fight against us, and so get them out of the land. All right, so there you have it. Like they fearing that we're going to come against them and we're going to take over the land. This is no different in America today. This is why you got redlining. This is why you got mass incarceration. This is why you got Donald Trump, getting rid of, DEI or whatever it's called. You got all these different programs that are supposed to be for the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. But instead, even when they do implement it, somehow other nations come and take advantage of it for us. And then if they even sense that we get any kind of, any kind of benefit from it to where they think we coming up, they'll strip the whole program and, we start all over again. You know what I'm saying? From, you can go down the list of programs and list of things that the oppressor comes up with to keep us from being successful. That draconian court system to divide families, mass incarceration, white supremacist police officers, white supremacist judges, lawyers, poison food. It's a list of things that, they make sure we have nothing to pass down. We have nothing they make sure we can't grow. And then they also make sure that we're not passing them down to the next generation, as a whole, like as a whole nation. You know what I'm saying? Most so-called Black Hispanics die broke. And you pass nothing on to the next generation. But before you get there, you are, oppressed until oblivion, to where, alcohol and drug and substance abuse becomes your norm. You know what I'm saying? So, in Egypt, you can see this king is doing the same thing. He's afraid that the children of Israel are going to raise up and take over. So verse 12. Slaki. But the more Slaki, verse 12, but the Slaki, 11. Hold on a second. Slaki 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters, right, to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Petham and Ramesses. In every captivity we go in, they always have us building. We built the White House. We built the infrastructure that makes America successful was built by so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But yet, you get no credit for that. You get no credit for building the infrastructure for the greatest nation or the richest nation on the planet. You know what I'm saying? The food, on the table, from farm, from field to grocery store is so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Like everything that function in this place, to make it run is done by the slaves of the nation. Now they've, reverted it, used kind and cunning words so that the average person won't think, okay, that really just means slave. You know what I'm saying? That just really means slave. You know, they call you essential worker, or, you know, a list of other names that they use to, you know, it's easy. It's kind to hear. It's kind to hear it. You hear it, and it don't start no frustration, no argument with people, because it's kind to the ears, and it makes you think, okay, well, yeah, nothing is going on here. But when you look deep into it, it's really the same game, same hustle. They just doing it a different way to make you like it. All right, verse 13. Oh, it's like it, verse 12. But the more they afflict them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. 13. The Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, a new captivity, new slave master. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you look at the so-called Hispanic tribes, for them to come into this country, you know, even with, you know, the tribe of Levi in Ohio and other areas that they don't talk about, where these people literally reformed the whole city, because the so-called oppressors in them areas are drugged out, are on all different kinds of substances, and they don't want to go to work. But you got the so-called Black Hispanics, the children of Israel in these cities. They're the fuel of these cities, and you can imagine what they're getting paid to do this work. When you go and look at some of these different cities where our people are, they don't have a you know, no kind of rights, no kind of nothing, because they don't got no kind of paperwork to even say, you know, I deserve this much. But instead, we peaceful. We come in, we build these communities up, and what do you get for it? You get the president of the United States. I'll tell you, oh, well, they eat cats in Ohio. You know, making fun, making jokes on the people who carrying the load for your country. You know what I'm saying? And the average so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, they are so afraid that you're going to lose something that you so-called work hard for, you work hard for, that you won't even stand up for your own kind. You'll disassociate yourself from the same people you stem from. Think about that. Like, it's only right for you to love your own kind. And you look in the wild, you look anywhere, it's only right for the, you know, for you to love the kind you from. You know, it's only normal. But we have here in America where you got one group of so-called Hispanics, they hate the other group, and they come from the same spot. But when you see the so-called oppressor, when they go and grab people from Poland and Norway and Greenland and all these different other areas, and they you know, they lay down the red carpet for their people. But you in here, and you so scared to just do the right thing that you would disassociate yourself from your people, hoping to get a crumb from your oppressor. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need YAHANNA, but I ain't gonna go into that. I'm gonna continue with what we got right here. All right. If y'all got any questions, y'all welcome to put them in the chat. All right, verse 13, 14. And they made their lives better with hard bondage. Like right here, this is your 9 to 5. Like a lot of y'all got, you know, your own business. The oppressor set it up to where you have to work so hard that even with a 1099, it's still bondage. Because he's ready to tax every dollar you get. Between taxes and fees, you come home with nothing. Between taxes and fees, you got a fee for this document, fee for this document, fee for that, tax on this, tax on that. It's almost like you working for free. You know what I'm saying? But many of us who do, you know, you're a W-2 employee or whatever, you know, you know, to me, is in most cases, it's really the same. Because you still paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to paycheck. And the harder you work, it seems like the more you fall behind. Never think that is just coincidence. That is set up by design to make the children of Israel to serve in bondage, hard bondage. That's designed for it to be that way. It's designed for you to wake up from sun up to down, and you deal with something. Many of us go out to a job that does very little for you, except allow you to pay your bills. That's set up by design. All right, 14 Slacky. Slacky. And they made their lives better with hard bondage, in mortar, and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve with rigor. You know what I'm saying? These are the same people that will tell you Jesus loved everybody. Right? These are people that say, you know, Jesus loved everybody and we should all get along, but yet your people will be on the bottom. And then they'll tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, you know, this is hell. You know what I'm saying? And as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this ain't the first hell we done been in. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the first hell we done been in. It's gonna be the last, but it ain't the first one. All right, so that is 14. I will read in the Hebrew, Salaki. 15, Salaki. So Wayamar Malak Matazarayim. Salaki. Lama Yadath, Habaria, Ashar Shum, Ha Akatha, Shapar, Shapara, Washum, Hashanayah, Hawaii, verse 16, Why Ashar, it's like Yala Dakya, Atha, Abari Yawas, Wa Ar Slaki Wa Ra A Yasan Al Ha Abanayim Ama Ban Awa Hawa Ha Amathni Athawa Wa Asam Bath Hayawa Wa Kaya Wa Taya Ra'a Slaki Wa Taya Ra'ahna Ha Maliyadath Asa Ha Alahayim Mala'a I.S.U.P.K Kashar Dabar Yahanna, it's like YAHANNA, Malak, Matazarayim, Wasakayayin, Asa, Ha Haladayim, Wa Slaki. Oh, Slaki. Waya Korah Malak Matzarayim La Maya Ladath Waya Ashar La Lahan
Mada Y Ayeshitan Hadabor Hazah Wa it's like it Wa the Kayayin Asa Hai Gedayim Wa it's like it Wa ta Sluggy midwives Sluggy Wa sa ama Wasa Marat Marana Sluggy Sluggy Ha Maya Ladath Ow Power I Kaya La'a Kanashayim Hamatsu Rayath Ha it's like Ha I Baryath Ibriyath Kaya Kayawas Hana Ba Rayim Sa Bawa'a Hala Na Hama Yaladath Layadawa Waya Yatawab Hala Yahum Lamaya Ladath Waya Ra Hayam Waya Atazawam Ma Ahad Waya Haya Kaya Yara Hawa Ha Mala Yadath Asa Mala Hadath Waya Aish Lahum Bathium Waya Tazawa Barai Lakau Aimawa La Hashar Kau Haban Hayalawad Haya Hara Sasha La Kawa Wakao Habath Saka Yawan. All right, and I'll go back to the English, Laki. So this is Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. All right. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shapara, and the name of the other was Pa'ah. And he said, when ye do the office of midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. All right, and this is, one of those things that I was just talking about. They have these think tanks, these like they call them projects, and they put all this money into these different professionals, and they come out with ways on how they can oppress Black Hispanics, and generally they call them think tanks, right? And there's all these different organizations and colleges and all these different people
and they study our culture, they study what we eat, they study how they can use us to benefit the country. All right, and they come out with different things, you know what I'm saying? And this is no different. You know, kill the firstborn. You know what I'm saying? Look at the mass incarceration, you know what I'm saying, in our community. Again, that's not by accident. Look at, you know, the single mother pandemic that nobody cares about fixing but the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? Look at, you know, the 304 community, you know, raging, you know, chaos in, you know, in our children and making these babies think that it's okay to take their clothes off and to dance, you know, promiscuously any and everywhere. Like, don't think that this stuff is just happening just because it's happening. There's somebody in the office sitting back, figuring out how they can use, you know, whatever they can, whether it's a rapper or entertainer, to make sure that we stay oppressed and that we stay in a position that they can make, you know, a country great. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, make, you know, the slogan is make America great again, right? Well, how do you make America great again? How did America become great the first time? Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians in slavery. You know what I'm saying? Us in hard bondage and hard rigor. You know, get that man out of that house or you ain't gonna get no food stamps. Get that man out of that house or you ain't gonna get this or that. You know what I'm saying? Taking that power from that brother so he can't discipline them kids. You know what I'm saying? All of this is put together, you know, for the sake of what? You know, to oppress you, to separate you, to brainwash you. That Christian church you go into is set there for a reason. It's there for a reason. You go into the so-called black and brown community, and there's a church everywhere, and they all teaching what? One thing in common. They all teaching what? A lie. They teach you to sing. They teach you to be passive. They teach you to join other people, right? But yet, your oppressor don't want to join. They don't want to join Iran. Why your oppressor don't want to join Iran? Why your oppressor don't want to join China? Are not the Chinese an enemy to the American people? The so-called white man? Is not the Iranian people an enemy? You know what I'm saying? But for you, you got to accept the enemy and become and assimilate to the culture who oppressed you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just as the days in Egypt, the children of Israel was in bondage, so is the days of, you know, modern time where the children of Israel are, you know, in bondage in every way. You know what I'm saying? Another one of those tricks that they get black people is to take black so-called blacks and tell them that they African. Now you got all these black people running to Ghana only to find out that Ghana is, you know, it was a lie. I'm just saying like that. The whole thing was a lie. It was a scam to get your money, and now they killing black women over there and stealing land. And if you'd have listened to the men of the Lord, you'd have knew it was a scam from the jump. You would have knew it was a scam from the jump. But instead, your Christian pastor teamed up with Steve Harvey and a list of your favorite celebrities and had you fooled that black people was going to have some kind of peace and quiet. And the trick is this. They just switched slave masters. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Them same Hamites had a trick to join the people who have been oppressing you for decades. And just like they negotiated to sell you over here, they negotiated to make you fly back. And this time you flew back over there with them, thinking that you got a piece of, you know, you got a small piece of heaven. And then you was just, you know, when the truth came out, it's just you realize, like, you know what I'm saying, it was a scam. You know, these nations are not with us on no level. And there's only one thing that we got, and that is this Bible. It's the Most High. It's these laws, statutes, and commandments. That is your way out. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. All right. So let me keep reading. Salakia. All right, verse 15. Salakia 16. And he said, 17, Salakia. All right, so check this out. You know what I'm saying? To all you who are listening, like, look at what our people understood in Egypt. Look at who we went to. You know, we didn't go to Creflo Dollar. We didn't go to men who the Lord not with. Lord is not with TD Jakes. He's not with none of them Christian pastors. He's not with none of the rappers. He ain't with none of them. You know what I'm saying? Look at what the sisters did right here. Verse 17. But the midwives feared the Most High, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. Verse 18. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? Verse 19. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women. Like, that's the spirit you got to have in America. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand and realize that the so-called melting pot is a myth. That whole myth about all these people coming together, when you look at our neighborhood, you got in areas where we dwell at, and the heathens come, they build their own. They got Chinatown, they got the East, in every state and every province. They live in their own, they keep their customs of their people, and you know, that's really the end of it. You so-called blacks and Hispanics are the one trying to assimilate and trying to be, you know, a good Uncle Tom so that you can be accepted. Because you ain't realized that, you know, your power ain't in the Christian church. It ain't in voting. It ain't in, you know, being like. It's in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get out of this. Doing what the Lord requires you to do. Loving your own kind, loving your own people. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? That fakeness that they put in that Christian church and all the people in there in different nationalities pretend like they like each other. And they all hate each other, and they all sleeping around with each other's wives. And they all, you know, they touching babies and doing everything under the sun. And you in there talking about patriotism. You know, it's a whole scam on our people as a nation, and the only thing is the Most High. All right, so verse 21 slide. Verse 20. Verse 20 is like, therefore God dealt with them, dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mightily. And that's the solution. You know what I'm saying? Obedience to the Lord. That's your solution. You voting for Trump, you voting for Kamala. I don't care who you vote for. If it ain't lining up with what this Bible say, it's a waste of time. You doing it for nothing. I'm just going to tell you. You doing it for nothing. It's sloppy. It's just a temporary pleasure. You know what I'm saying? It's temporary pleasure. You'll regret it the same way you voted for Obama, the same way you voted for what's that? ADOS and FBA and Black, all these organizations that they don't, you know, it's a waste of time. You will do better serving the Lord and, you know, understanding these scriptures, get in class, learn your nationality, learn what it is to be a real, you know, well, sorry, I can't say I don't want to get the screen up. Learn what it is to be an Israelite, man, and what the Lord wants of you. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to love your brother as yourself. You know, Christians like to say that. They have no idea what it means. All right, verse 21. Slide. 22. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. Right? Look at what he's trying to do. The so-called oppressor, even here, understands that the strength of any nation is the men. And before any man become a man, he's a boy. All right, that's just understanding. You got to understand that. And if you stop the youth from growing up being, you know, tough and honorable men, you can keep that nation in captivity forever. All right. Where your oppressor today does that by making sure that household is completely, you know, they got what they call the gender roles and, 50-50 and all this foolishness that we buy into, thinking that we got a piece of the American pie. And it's just designed to keep you in divorce court, keep you fighting. Some of you men, you don't have no authority in your house. You're just there because you're a sex toy. Your children doing everything and they want to. There's no discipline in that house. Them children are destroyed. By the time that child turns 15, he's a coward. He can't do nothing. You can't yell at him. He can't do nothing. He's moving such in the wrong direction. By the time he's a man, he needs his mama for everything. He needs his mama for every single thing. And this is what the Christian church approve of. They approve of it. And they make sure that you go to that church on Sunday and you are brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? Some of these brothers don't even go to the church. You just let your real go to the church and you stay home, and she come home and she just makes sure that you jealous of the pastor. And you destroy it because every way you turn, there's something blocking you. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, that's not something that's just happening to you. It was designed by somebody for it to happen that way. All right. So with that, I'm gonna go to verse 2 or chapter 2 in the Hebrew. Salaki. Chapter 2. So, Wayla, Ayash, Mabiyath, Loya, Wayka, Asaf, Bath, Loya, what's like it? Wa, Zahar, Ha, Asha, Wasala, Ban, Wasara'a, Asawa, Kaya, Tawab, Wa, Wa'a, Wa, Taza, Panakwa, Shala, Yarakayam, Wala'a, Yakala, Iwad, Ha Tazapo, Yanawa, Yasuka, Lawa, Tabath, Gama'a, Wasa Kamara, Ba Kamar, Wa Sluggy, Waba Zapath, Wasashum, Ba'a, Atha, Ayalad, Wasashum, Basawap, I, Shapath, Hayara, Wasa Taza Ba'a, Sluggy. Wasa Taza Ba, Aka, Aka,
Thawa, Wama Kaza, Lawai, Ma'a, Ya Aisha, Watharab, Bath, Pa, Ra'ai, Lara, Kataza, Kataza, Ai, Haya Ra, Wa Naya Raswa, Alakath, Ai, Yad, Haishar, Ras, Wa, Para'a, Atha, Ha, Hathab, Bathika, Hasawa'a, Hasawa, sorry. Wa, Wasashka, Watashika, Slaki. Atha, Amatha, Waba Kaha, Wapastika, Wa, Arawa, Atha, Ayalad, YAHANNA, Na Ira, Baka, Wasa Kamal, Wa Sa Amar, Mayalawaya, Ha, Ibarium, Zaha, Wa, Sa Amar, Akazawa, How, Bath, Parai, Ha, Alak, Wa, Quara Athaya, La'a, sorry, Laka, Ashar, now Yakwath, Mana, Ha, Ibaryath, Wa, Saya, Nak, Laka, Asa, Hayalad, Wyeth, Thamar, Laha, Bath, Parai, Laika, Waitulak, it's like Ha, Ailamath, Why, it's like Wa, Bakora'a, Asa, Ama, Hayalad, Wa, Da Amar, Lahum, Bath, Para I, Haya Layaka, Lakaya, Asa, Hayalad, Hazah, Wa Waya Nakwa. It's like Laya Na Kwa Hawa Laya Wa Ananaya Atha Athan Atha Karak Wa Sa Kwaka Tha Ashar Haya Lawad Wa Tha Naya Kwanawa Waya Wa Kadal Waya Kadal Haya Ha Hayalad Wa Baba Hawa Labas Para Parai Wa Yaha Laha Laban Wa Tawakoa Shamawa Masha Watha Amar Kaya Mana Hamayam Masha Yas Hawa. Verse 11. Wayahayaha Ba Ya Mayam Hum Waya Kadal Mosha Ya Wa Ya, it's like Waya Taza'a How Akayawa Wa Yara'a Ba Sababamath Waya Ra'a Ayash Mataza Ra'a Makah Ayash Ibaria Ma'a Kayawa Wa Yapan Ka Waka Why Yara'a Kaya Hayan Hayash Yara Atha Ha Mataza Raya Wa Yataza Manawa Ba Kawal Waya Slaki Wa Yataza Baya Awam Ha Shanaya Wa Hana Shanaya An Slaki Anashim Arbarian Nataza Yum Waya Ashar La Rashai Lama the Ka Rai. Start right there at 14. All right, in the English, like in the English. So verse 2, Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took the wife of a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And she saw him that he was a goodly child. She hid him 3 months. Verse 3. And when she could not longer hide him, she took him for an ark of Slaki. She took for him an ark of bulrushes, and duded it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash himself at the river. Herself at the river. And her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she opened it, she saw the child. And behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and saw, this is one of the Hebrew children. Verse 7. Then saw his sister to the Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you see in in modern times. This would be like the foster care system. After the so-called white, the oppressors like you. And after he destroys your family and your mother's on drugs, and she put the kids in foster home, and this is how they get your children, right? This is how they get the children. And typically what happens is they brainwash these children to love the oppressor and to hate their own people. And those people become presidents of companies of the country, because they are so assimilated, and their main wishes, they want to get rid of the racism. And because of that mentality happens, generally, we suffer. All right. But this, of course, this is talking about Moses, and he's going to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do the right thing as he grows and he matures. He's going to do the right thing. And he's going to save his people. He had the same spirit of those sisters we read in chapter 1, how they understood how to, deal wisely. Or the Egyptians tried to deal wisely with us. But those sisters said, we ain't going to kill our babies, man. We're going to save our babies. You know what I'm saying? So verse 9 is like, and Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away. It's like in verse 10. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter. And he became her son, and she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, and he went out into his brethren, and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew, one of his brethren. Verse 12. And he looked this way and that way, and went, and he saw there was no man, and slew the Egyptian, and he hid him in the sand. Verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intentest thou to kill me? And thou killest the Egyptian. And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by the well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. And it's like it. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. All right, so you see, Moses stood with his people, man. And if you think you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and you think voting and joining your oppressor is the solution to white supremacy, mass incarceration, redlining, and destruction of the children of Israel, you a fool. You a damn fool. If you think your Christian church is gonna fix the situation in Black and brown America, you the biggest fool ever. Every nation understands that self-preservation is to love your own kind, man. And Christ taught us how to do that with brother Moses, these sisters in the scriptures that we just went over. They understood how to stand for your own kind. And that's how you get out of captivity. Not joining the people who rape, robbed, and murdered you and brainwashed you with these so-called school systems. You know what I'm saying? They're really just re-education camps. Because by the time your daughter and your son go to elementary school, middle school, high school, and college, they hate themselves. Where they learned it from? Ask yourself that question. Where they learned it from? Who teaching them how to hate? 24/7 white supremacy is being, pushed in your skull. 24/7. And you think the solution is to go sit in the church and sing? You know what I'm saying? You definitely need a miracle. And the only miracle that you need to understand that you need is the men of the I.S.U.P.K, man, the men that bring out this truth and help you understand how to fight white supremacy and privilege. You know what I'm saying? That's how you fight that. All right. So with that, Samaki. Give me a second. All right. With that, let me see where we at. Hold on a second. Samaki. I think I got a few. Samaki. All right, I think I got a few more left. Y'all got any questions? You can go ahead and put it in the chat. I think the chat activated. You're welcome to put your questions in the chat on this, any question in general, definitely on the topic. Give me a second. All right, yeah, I think I'm on 16. All right, so we'll go down to 25. Yeah, we'll just stop at 25. All right, so back in Hebrew, Shalaki. Shalaki. Okay, 16, I think that was. YAHANNA. Kahan is priest in English. In the Hebrew, it's Kahan. In English, is priest. So while Kahan, Marian, Shabai, Balawath, Wa, Baba Ana, Wa, Da Lana, Wa Mala Ana Ata Haba At Ra Ha Ra Hat Slaki Haba Ratayim La Shel Korath Taza Ana Abba Yahanna Abba Yana Waya Bara'a Haratazayim Wa Yaragarashim Wa Yaquam Masha Wa Slaki Yawa Yabushana Yash Yashikwa Asa Taza Ana Wa Taba Ana Al Right Aishawa Wa'al Abiyama Yawa Amar Manawai Maharatan Ba'a Hayawa'am Wata Maran Ayash Mataza Raya Ha Taza Sulaki Taza Ya Slaki Taza Yanawa Mayad Harayam Wagam Wala Dala Lanwa Yashkwa Atha Ha Taza Ana. Verse 20. Ya Amar Al Banas Yawa Wa Ayawa Lama Za I.S.U.P.K Thanan Asa Ha Ayash Kwa Ana Lawa Waya Akal Lahom Wa Yawa'a Masha La Shabbath Asa Ayash Wa Yaswa Atha Tazapawa Baswa La Musha La Sakit Wa Salad Ban Yakwara'a Atha Shamawa Garashim Kaya Ashar Amar Slaki Gara Hayayasya, Ba Haratzaza, Nakaya, 23. Ya, Wa, Hayaha, it's like a Ya, Waya Ya, Baya Mayim, Ha, Harabdim, Hahum, Yamath, Malak, Matazarayim, Wa, Ya, Nakawa, Ban, Yasha'ala, Mana, I, I, Ibad, it's like Ibarak, bondage, like Waya Za'ai, Wa Yaza Aikwawa, Watha Ai, Shawa Aithum, Al Ha Halahayim, Mana, Ha Aida, 24. Wa Yashamai, Alahayim, Asa, Naquasim, Wa Yazakar, Alahayim, Ta, Bar Yaswa, Asa, Abarium, Atha, Yatazak, Wa Asa, Yaquab, Wa Yara'ah, Alahayim, Atha, Ban Yasha'ala, Wa Yadai, Alahayim. All right, finish this chapter off. Go down to 25, left off at 16, or 17, or 16. So Exodus chapter 2, verse 16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. 17. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. 18. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is that ye are come so soon today? Verse 19. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. All right, so I'm gonna start right there. Real quick, even in this time, Israelites got mistaken for what? Egyptians. When you go over into the New Testament, Paul got mistaken for what? An Egyptian. So I just want to bring it out real quick. So I can. 21. And Moses was content to deliver with the man. It's like to dwell with the man. And he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter, and she bare him a son. And he called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in the strange land. Verse 23. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died. The children of Israel sighed by reason of bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto the Most High, or to God, by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God respected unto them. All right. So this is what I was talking about when I say the solution to Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It's not the Christian church. Ain't no organization. It's like ain't no new Johnny come lately organization gonna help us. It's exactly what we just read, man. We got to repent, man. Come back to these commandments. Find the priests of God, which are the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? It's really just that easy. Learn your nationality. For those who in the truth, endure in the truth. Fight the good fight. You know, the Most High has given us the whole earth forever. Like, what can you do? Go start a business? You know what I'm saying? Go start it. I ain't telling y'all not to start no business, but what are you gonna do? Like, that's gonna be your pride, joy, a business that ain't nobody gonna remember. Instead, you can stay in the truth, create your business, stay in the truth, please the Lord, be a part of something that's gonna go in history forever and never be changed. And you should be happy to even be a part of it, to be a part of these 12 tribes. With that, for time's sake, I'm gonna say Imagine YAHANNA, which means to stand and face the east. And we'll end with the Lord's Prayer. Lucky, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna say Imagine YAHANNA, which means to stand and face the east. All right, and we're gonna conclude with the Lord's Prayer. You can just repeat after me. All right. All right, the Hebrew first, Adonai, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayel, Shenka, Yahweh, Malakoka, Baba'ah, Ratzazak, Hayel, Aisha, Baharatazah, Kaya, Hayel, Bashemayim, Nathanawa, Lakum, Ka, Yawom, Wasalakinawa, Kavawathinawa, Kasalakinawa, Kavawath Yenawa, Wala'ah, Baba Yahaya now, Banasana 1, Habal, Hayashaya now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala Allah, Waha, it's like it, Wahaka Parala, Laka, it's like it, La'awalunium. Amen. In English, you just said, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. That we done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Our next prayer is going to be power in English, or hakah. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Babakashah, the thunder now, hakah. Hakut la pa'a, kalamarawa. Hakut la tahar, hamati yamrani. Hakut la hakwi, hamathium. Hakut our recoverers, hatu ma'ala, lagarsh, ba'ashem Yahweh, the water. Amen. In the English, it's Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Our next prayer is Barak, or blessing. Yahweh. It's like Barak. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahushua. Wa maka Ya'ala. Wa Alahim. Matazabiyah. Alawam Yahanna. It's like Ha Alawampim. Hasaranyim. Ha Kwatazayanyim. Ha Kakayayim. Waha Akwatian, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh, the water. Amen. Okay, in English is bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. Our next prayer is going to be Psalms 121, or it's in the Hebrew. Ayasha'a, Ayanim, Al-Aharim, my Ayan, Yaba'a, Izariah, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha'a, it's like Shamayam, Wa Haratazah, Al-Yathan, Lemawat, Regalga, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Sharamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamka, Yamamum, Hashamash, La'akakalka, Wayara, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makara, Yashamar, Ashnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wamawa'athka, Ma'aitha, Wa Aramam. All right, we said in English is I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee shall not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. All right, next prayer is going to be Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Salaki. Alahayam, al damayelaka, al takarash, wa al tashakwat, al kayahana, hamwamyaka, hamyawam, wamashanayaka, nasha'awa, wa ash, al imaka, yamwa, sawad, waya, bawa atazawa, atazapawanika, or marwa, lakawa, wanakankinum, Mongolia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum Yasha'ala, Iwad, Kanya, Nawa'a Tazua, La Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Bayath, Yakadwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wayashamayalam, Mawa'aba, Wahargaria, Gabal, Wa'amalat, Wa'amawan, Palashath, Imrishadia, Tazawo, Damashawo, Nalawa, Hain, Hayawa, Zarawa, Labanyilawa, Shalah, Aishalahum, Kamadim, Kasa Yasara'a, Yayabim, Banakal, by Washawan, Nashimadwa, by Anda Ara, Hayawa, Dama, Lahadma, Shayatamawa, Nadiyabmawa, Kayab, Iraq, Waka Za'abak, Wakaza'abak, Waka Tazamanan, Kanasi Yakambu, Ashar, Amaru, Naya Arash, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagawa, Kakwash, Pandibaka, Ka'ash, Taba'ira Ya'ira, Wakala'aba, Delahut, Hariam, Khan, Saradapna, Ba Saka Iriga, Wa Sabawapathka, Sabalahum, Malaha, Panyahum, Kwalawan, Wayabashwa, Shimka Yahawa, Yabashwa, Yabawa, IDI, Yaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Ida Wa Kaya, Atha, Shimka Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kalha, Haratazah. All right, we're going to finish in the English. What we read in the Hebrew, we're going to finish in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken craft and counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin of the birth of Kasar, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Orer, and like Zaid, yea, all their prince, as Zabal, and as Zamun, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as a stove before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatah. Yahweh Shema Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's going to conclude the Florida Sabbath service, y'all. Be good. Be easy. Shalom.